At paragraph 16, you do state that you know Major General Khan as a general based at Khan Intelligence Head Office. Before I became the investigating director in March, I engaged with him in meetings with other stakeholders. So we are now before you joined IDEC. Did you have any other relationship besides that you describe at paragraph 16 with General Khan, personal or otherwise?
I had gotten to know him quite well. At a stage, we engaged often on all kinds of issues that didn't necessarily relate to work. He was very affable, and I got along with him. So I would talk to him as well outside of meetings. It wasn't confined to meetings.
That's an important distinction to draw, because your paragraph 16 seems to suggest that your engagements with him prior to 2022 were in meetings and with other stakeholders only. It's too restrictive what's said in 16 regard being head to your response now.
And we can add it.
No, the record, it's there on record. So I say, we clarified that you had this professional relationship as you described in 16, but you also had a personal relationship.
Yes, I did.
You say you then you have a specific timeline to it. Say before I became investigating director in March 2022. Let's get past March 2022. The relationship, as you have now clarified, with General Khan, did it change? What's the relevance of using that marker, March 22, when you became ID, to speaking to the relationship you have with General Khan? It suggests, as I read it, that it drastically changed from March 2022. Am I reading it correctly? And yet, I take into consideration what you say at your paragraph 19. You say you have had limited contact with him and have had no contact with him approximately the past year and a half. It's now 2026, but your cutoff date there is March 22. I don't know. Where were you on April 2022 until a year and a half before 2026? So far as your relationship is concerned. Thanks.
So if we're taking it from March 2022, I continued to talk to General Khan.
Yes.
It is only late in 2024 when this issue of Mr. Murray arose, because Mr. Murray came to see me personally. It had been a very painful engagement. And it was then that I raised the issue with him, and I slowly started to withdraw. I didn't stop talking to him completely, but if I have to cast my mind back, that's why I say past year and a half, which would have been from very early 2025.
Okay. And you say that in 2024, after you met Mr. Murray, you started to withdraw. I take it from a closer relationship with General Khan.
Yes.
If I may, why? What is the relevance of that matter to the change in your relationship with General Khan?
Here I get to engage a victim who's lost his father and his brother in a very violent way.
Yes.
It is very difficult, commissioners, when you are sitting with a child who is now parentless and brotherless. He is raw of emotion sitting in front of you. But it's not just the emotion. It is the complaint about the police not doing their work. And he sat there hoping that we were able to help him. And it was unfortunate. It is not in our mandate. But it touched me in a different way, in a very humane way. And it made what he was saying more real. I wasn't reading this in papers. I wasn't hearing stories. I was hearing from a child. Well, he's a young man, but I was hearing this from a child. And there is no way when you have that engagement that you are able to just shut it down and, okay, this is what you go and do, and then you just carry on. It had an impact. And I think it was for those reasons. It really had a humane impact that I was unable to assist him. And the allegation he made was very serious. And so he was accompanied by a friend, and I told him and the friend they would definitely have to take this up with the head of detectives at the time.
Then I understand, just to wrap up then, your relationship with General Khan was adversely influenced by the allegations made to you as regards his alleged involvement by Mr. Murray. That's what altered the course of your relationship.
Yes.
Okay.
Because he was explicit about where he felt Mr. Khan was involved and persons he was involved with. It's names I'm prepared to write, but he made very pertinent referrals.
Yes. And do you know whether he took up your advice, just as a matter of interest? I think you said you suggested that he engaged subs organized crime Gauteng.
Yes, there was a time when he did make contact with me again to indicate that the detectives had allocated a new team.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it ended up being to his satisfaction, as I am aware that there haven't been arrests made on the matter, but I am aware, Commissioner Khumalo, that he did follow up that, and I'm aware that they actually had a proper engagement with him. I'm not sure where that engagement is now, given there's no arrests in the matter.
Understood. And lastly, at your paragraph 20, this in response to
Maybe before you do 20, just so I make sure I understand, at that paragraph 16 and following, where you say you continue to speak to General Khan after March 2022, does that mean you socialized with him? What does that mean? Because you could be talking about work, you could be talking about family, friends, you could be meeting for lunch. What exactly do you mean when you say you continue to talk to him outside of meetings?
So we would chat on WhatsApp, or we would talk to one another if we saw one another, but we didn't socialize, in the word socialize, so we didn't go to lunch, visit one another, etc.
But you had non-work related interactions.
Non-work related
interactions.
Thank you. Yes.
I might be mistaken, but I think at some point we had evidence that you attended his 50th or 55th birthday party.
That is
Was it after this date?
No, sir.
When was that?
Oh, I speak under correction. I don't know when he turned 50. It might have been in 2020 or 2019. But it was, he invited my husband who worked at Crime Intelligence. And when we got there, most people who had been invited with their partners or spouses. And we attended the birthday, attended the dinner. We probably were the most ungracious guests because it was very busy. And as soon as we had dinner, I said to my husband, can we leave? And we didn't even greet the host. We had left, but we did attend it. My husband having been invited, and I attended. Delete the not, yes. I think my cannot not. It's either my cannot or it is not. Thank you, Commissioner. I cannot discuss the evidence that will be led when the trial of Lieutenant General Khumalo and his co-accused gets underway, or the merits of the criminal case against them. The sub judice rule precludes me from doing so. Be that as it may, I may indicate that there was a series of matters referred to IDAC in terms of the Section 27 by 1, Mr. Adams. When the whole picture is presented, they include the following. 25.1. The manipulation of recruitment processes and appointment of persons without suitable qualifications into senior strategic posts in the criminal intelligence unit. 25.2. The bypassing of vetting processes, which, among others, manifested itself in the failure to apply for and get top secret clearances where required. A standard requirement for crime intelligence unit personnel, especially senior appointments. And at 25.3, the appointments of persons not suitably qualified and or experienced as a form of gratification for their collusion later in the looting of state funds, for example, the purchase of properties. 26. As I indicate somewhere towards the end of this affidavit, I intend to apply for leave to testify before this commission. If leave to do so is granted, I will get an opportunity to expand on the issues to which reference is made above. State capture is a type of systemic political corruption in which private interests significantly influence a state's decision-making processes to advantage and or benefit of certain individuals. 27. When one looks at all the cases referred to IDAC by Mr. Adams, they depict the capture of systems and processes for private interests by the head of CI and other senior managers. This too is an issue I intend to testify about should I be granted leave to. 28. The picture that has emerged is that the appointment and installation of certain persons in certain positions within the Crime Intelligence Unit, CIU, by Lieutenant General Khumalo and his co-accused persons help them strategically to access funding without following proper processes. This is because their token appointments would not stop them from their unlawful acts.
Sorry, you refer to persons in the plural. The picture that has emerged is that the appointment and installation of certain persons in certain positions, and it goes on. The only complaint I'm aware of, I may be mistaken, is a complaint about the appointment of Brigadier Mukwele. Are there any other appointments in respect of which there are complaints?
So the appointments are in terms of other persons that are not in that specific leg of investigation.
So there are other names besides Brigadier Mukwele?
Yes, but not in that specific leg, but arising out of the complaint by Mr. Adams.
Sorry, maybe you're missing the chair's question. Was there a referral to IDAC in respect of other people or other positions?
When we got the referral from Mr. Adams, and it was given to the prosecutors together with those dockets, they were able to identify that there are issues relating to vetting and appointments. The appointment of Brigadier Mukwele was one of them, but I think there is one other matter where the issue of an appointment is also part of the complaint, part of the investigation that was dealt with.
You're still not answering, Advocate Johnson. Was there a referral to IDAC in respect of other positions other than Ms. Mukwele or Brigadier Mukwele?
Not out of this, no.
So to the extent that IDAC went and looked at other people who were quote-unquote strategically placed, it's IDAC that decided to do that. There was no referral saying there are people who are strategically placed within crime intelligence. Investigate how they were placed there.
Commissioner Khumalo, to explain perhaps as follows, I don't know whether I'm using it's not a complaint about an appointment, as in a new appointment. Perhaps it is a complaint about the placement of a person in a position that arose out of the non-compliance with the vetting positions. So it's not, the only complaint about an actual appointment was the Mukwele, that the allegation is she should not have been appointed.
So then there is no complaint to IDAC about appointment and installation of certain persons, plural.
No, it is a person.
Person.
I correct myself, thank you.
And that person is Brigadier Mukwele?
That was the only one that I am aware of that was referred to as an appointment. Thank you.
Thank you. Please proceed.